We have names that is given to us. We have names that maybe we want to call ourselves. But Allah also has a name for us. And maybe that name that He has for us is not what we call ourselves. Allah, He doesn't have one name for us. Maybe we have many names. What we are known here in this world, what we are known amongst the angels, and what we're known in the divine presence. So difficult for us to understand. Your name, John, amongst your friends. Amongst your brothers, my name is Bilal. Like the name of that beloved one of the Prophet, ﷺ, Hazrati Bilal. But if you go and you to a different group, they might have a different name for you. Ro, maybe. Tro, Wo. So everyone, more beloved you are in reality to someone, more names you're going to have. You understand? Good names. You have someone that you love, you keep finding ways to call him in as many names as possible. Because that name is not, it doesn't cover everything. Because you're seeing every day, He's revealing a new secret, a new beauty, and you want to call according to that. A new attraction, you want to call according to that. That's why even, today you call honey. Huh? Then what else you call? What do you call? Sweetheart. Oh, now we know. Sweetheart, honey, so many names. It is not just what we are seeing that is coming, it is also what we're feeling that is coming. So you have a question. Say it, Tahir. People believe that, or people believe 300 years from now things are going to come? That's another separate topic. Maybe we can talk another day. And? Yes.
We should be working for Ahmed more, and we're trying to save our iman. But it becomes more and more difficult in these days to save your iman, or at least work for Ahmed.
Yes.
How can we, knowingly, we know that maybe not directly running after doing it, but still, the ahad at work is always in the back burner. And there's always...
I understand. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First, we have to understand that the most important, it is not amal, it is not ibadat, it is iman. It is not work, good works, amal. It is not ibadat, it is not worship, it is iman. It is the most important, faith. Faith is the most important. Do you understand? So many people are going to get very upset with me because I said this. This is the Akhir Zaman, the end of times. Whatever the prophets, not only Holy Prophet ﷺ, they had said, but all earlier prophets, they also said what is going to happen in the end of times, it is coming. It is open. Whether in our tradition or not in our tradition, it is there. Nobody can say this world every year is getting better. Every year we're seeing they solve one problem, 10 problems come up. They solve 10 problems, everyone very happy. There is a new spring. Then you have 100 years of winter. It continues like that. And you have to be completely, have your head in the sand to know that every day this world is getting better. In every way. Someone may say it is not getting better spiritually, but it is getting better physically. Physically? What is there in this world physical that we have not destroyed yet? The air, the skies, the sun, the earth. Medicines, we have destroyed. Food, we have destroyed. So faith, Iman, was the first thing that the Holy Prophet ﷺ brought in his time. The time, it was the first Jahiliyyah, first age of ignorance, because everyone was ignorant at that time. They had wealth, they had money, they had people, they have intelligence, they have everything, but they don't have faith. Wrong faith. They put their faith in gold. They've put their faith in their intelligence. They put their faith in creation, not in the created. And when they look at the created, they say, this is the creator. They put their faith in the created and not the creator. You understand? Then they look at the creator and they say, no, we must make the creator to be like the created. This time, that way we can feel very comfortable worshipping. But the Prophet came with faith. He did not come telling people how to worship or what to do, because with that faith, automatically, you'll be able to do good deeds. Automatically, you're going to worship. But if you say, just for worshiping, you don't care about your faith, just for worshiping, you're coming just to sit quietly, sohbat going on, there is a protocol of listening. Because these things we don't study, we don't write, we don't prepare. We have to listen to the inspiration that is coming down, and if you are easily distracted just like that, then you don't belong to the circle. Go outside and be distracted. You don't have to come. But you here, we must try to. You understand? Distractions outside and inside. Listen properly. If you have worship, but you don't have proper faith, that worship is rotten. If you have works, good works, but you don't have faith, your good works, it is rotten too. So Prophet came, ﷺ, in the first age of ignorance, first Jahiliyyah, to make people to say what? La ilaha illallah. Proper faith. And what is that proper faith saying? There is nothing, there is no ilah, there is no Lord, except for the one Lord. There's no two or three or five or your Lord and my Lord, Christian Lord, Jewish Lord, Hindu Lord, and Muslim. There's only one Creator. Wake up. There is only one mankind. Wake up. No ilah, no other lords except for that one Lord. The only one. Same message that 124,000 prophets they came. Not only the 70,000 prophets of the Bani Israel. The thousands of other prophets that came from the earlier, from the first man and first prophet, Adam alayhi salam, to Sheykh alayhi salam, going down to Nuh alayhi salam, and every prophet that we know and we don't know. Same message, because there's same Lord. And that message has always been, there is only one Lord. And that prophet who brought that message is the prophet bringing you to the Lord. Now what does that mean now? It's not meaning there is 2, 3, 4, so many lords and we must destroy all of them and only Allah is going to be there. Do you understand? Because to say that there are many lords and they all don't count except for Allah, it is against to Tawheed. Do you understand? If you have wrong understanding, you think that in order to say La ilaha illallah, in order to have Tawheed, you first have to believe that there are many gods but then you have to destroy that and have only one. No. So what is that ilah? What is that ilah that we're saying la, no to? Our affirmation of faith begins with a negation. We negate it. We say no. We don't say yes, we say no. La to the ilah. So what is that ilah that we're saying no to? In order to have faith. That ilah that you have to say no to is your own ego. That part of you that says, I am me. That part of you that says, I exist. No one else exists. Whether that ego is personal or community or one nation, racial, to say we are only ones, no one others. What is that ilah? What are the false deities, lords that we're worshipping to? La ilaha illallah comes from where? Comes from our thought? No. The thought, it is a servant of the heart. The thought is still belonging to the world of creation. The thought and the intelligence, it is angelic, yes, but it is still the world of creation. The angels were created. Jibreel alayhi salam, if you're using your intelligence, you may go up to that station. And that station is what? Sidrat al-Muntaha. The highest station, but that is not close to Allah. You understand? To get close to Allah now, you have to leave your intelligence. And that is when faith comes in. That the Prophet on the night of his Mi'raj, he left Jibreel alayhi salam. He left everything. And he approached his Lord from the Sidrat al-Muntaha into divine presence. And the divine presence, it is where we belong. It is not so easy. Don't think with a couple of words, with a couple of thinking, with a couple of philosophies, with a couple of eureka moments, we're going to reach there. No. How are you going to reach there? You look to those who have already reached. Who have reached there? We have prophets in front of us. Follow your prophet properly, sincerely. So faith, it is the most important. In these days, and what are these days? This is the second Jahiliyyah. Second age of ignorance that the Prophet ﷺ said, this is worse than the first Jahiliyyah. Worse. Because back in the day, majority, they don't know how to read and write. And everybody today knows how to read and to write, but they are the most ignorant and arrogant ones. With more education, become more ignorant. Why is that? It's not because we don't have knowledge in front of us. We have so much information in front of us. You take this and you open it and you can check anything that you want. So what is that? That we lack. We lack the spirit. Because the spirit is what we spoke about earlier. The spirit is choked by the ego, by selfishness, by our desires for this world. It's choked by anger and arrogance. It's choked in very open ways and very subtle ways that you have to be under the training of a master for you to first understand, then to train. Our ego is worse than the animals in the zoo or animals in the wild, because animals in the wild, they follow the divine law very carefully. They have a law out there. Don't think that wild animals, they don't have a law. They know where they can go, they know where they cannot go. They know how much to speak, to cry, and how much to be quiet. The animal world knows the divine law better than us. There is a divine law for us. And the divine law, it is to curb our ego. But when there is a divine law without the spiritual law, the ego can take over too. By worshipping so much, you can reach to some high level, but you're doing it only for your ego. You're not doing it for Allah. So many, they can get knowledge, not of this world, of the higher worlds. They're taking it and they use it for destructive purposes. Correct? So now in these days, look to the first Jahiliyyah. What happened? Prophet ﷺ, he did not come straight away with all the law and to just give it to them and to say, now we have to practice the law. He did not. Although it was given to him and he was doing it, but he did not, because he is a prophet of mercy and understands his nation. He knows how much they can carry, how much they cannot carry. It took 23 years for the Shariat, the divine law, to be completely revealed. 23 years. First, you have to clean this. After you clean the inside, you take away all the wrong things, then you can clean this. You cannot hope to clean the glass if the inside is not emptied of the wrong things. You can never do that. The outside can be as clean as possible, but until you empty it, and after you empty, you still have to clean the container. Then, once that is done, it's so easy for something to be put inside that is going to be really good and pure, tahir, for you and for others. That time, people are going to look at you and they're going to feel good and clean just by looking at you or sitting in your presence or hearing you speak. This is just a sign of the prophets, a sign of the friends of Allah, the inheritors of the prophets. So now, in these days, don't run after knowing too much or doing so much either. Because this world is filled with people who are running to know so much. It's filled with people who are doing so much. There are so many Muslims, whenever they have a free time, they hop on a plane and they go to Mecca, correct? What shall we do this year? Oh, we have vacation time. We went to Paris, we went to London, we went to Bahamas. Let's go to Mecca and Medina. Yeah, let's. Wrong intention. What are you going to get there? What are you going to get there? Because it is not something that you're going to get physically. You can be there physically, but if you did not empty yourself, they cannot feel anything to you. They cannot feel nothing. You can be inside the grave of the Prophet ﷺ, inside the Kaaba, but if you're still filled with your ego, and what is the ego? The ego is the only thing in creation that is declaring itself Lord. Shaitan is not declaring itself Lord. Allah. He is not saying that He is a creator. Nothing in this world is declaring itself Lord, challenging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except for our nafs, our ego. And every prophet, when they look at their followers, those who are high intelligence, able to understand, they speak. Majority, they don't understand. Because majority say, what I feel, what I taste, or five senses, that is real. Correct? I want to be a good Muslim, I must learn Arabic, recite the Quran 24 hours, go up and down. But your heart is dirty. Your heart is dirty. How are you going to clean that? That is another science, and that is a science of purification. That we reach to its full bloom with the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That Isa ﷺ, the Prophet Jesus, he brought to his nation. That they were holding on to the law, but they were not holding on to the spirituality. You have to have both. Only later, people who are the descendants of those ones who understood from a long time ago what their prophets were teaching, their descendants, when they sit in the presence of other spiritual people, then they feel something familiar because it's coming from way back then. So now we're talking about faith. Save your faith. Make your faith to become stronger. Tariqat, it is following the way of the Prophet ﷺ through your Shaykh. make your faith to your Shaykh, to your Prophet strong. Don't shake. Don't have any doubt. Because the time is going to come. He's going to say, this wall is black. It is not black, it is white. Because that is one of the signs of the Akhir Zaman. Everything is going to turn. Black is white and white is black. Dajjal, the Antichrist, is going to show paradise as Jahannam, as hell, and hell as paradise. We are sitting here because this is a garden of paradise. Because the Prophet ﷺ says to his companions, when you pass by the gardens of paradise, don't just go, stay for a little bit and sit. And his companions asked 1400 years ago, what is the garden of paradise? Ya Rasulullah. And he said, where you see them sitting and making zikr of Allah, remembering Allah. That is when the angels are going to descend, rank upon rank, all the way up to Sidrat al-Muntaha, and they are praying for you. We cannot see, of course, because we are still concentrating on what we can see. We're not concentrating on what our spirit is seeing. They are here. They are around us. Be in these circles. Once you are busy with that, your iman is going to get stronger. Your faith is going to get stronger. Hold on to your Shaykh. Because the Dajjal is going to make everything to be upside down. We are sitting here because we believe this is the way to paradise. But there are so many people saying that this is not the way to paradise. You're just torturing yourself. Religion is torture. The law is torture. Not only yourselves, but others. In fact, it is hellish. You understand? We believe this is paradisial. They say this is hellish. It's already happening. Don't look at enemies of Islam or this. No. Look at the Muslims themselves. That group that came out during the last days of the Ottoman Empire, the Wahhabis, that was supported by the enemies of Islam outside, that this group had always been there in the 1400 years of Islam, but it's always been kept in check until when the Islamic Khilafat, the Caliphate, was weaker, and the enemies of Islam then gave food, start feeding this movement, and it became a huge monster. They say because with that monster, the Ummah can never be united again. It will never be, the Muslims will never become a formidable world power. The Khilafat was a superpower for all of Islamic history until 100 years ago. So now you have a fitna, you have a confusion inside that's going to split the Ummah. And they're continuing to feed that monster up to today, these Wahhabis. But now the monster is biting them back. Because the first thing that these monsters that they fed, that they did, was they destroyed Mecca, they destroyed Medina, they destroyed Taif, the heartlands of Islam, and they massacred thousands and thousands of Muslims. And they have been massacring thousands of Muslims from that time, 100 years ago, up till today. But that is good because it splits the ummah, it puts confusion. But now the monster that they're feeding is biting back to them. Have your faith. Sit down, understand. What takes my faith away? Have you asked yourself that question? So many people say, I want more faith. First, I'm going to ask you, what is your faith? What is your, don't give me textbook answers. What is your faith? Then if you can answer that, this is my faith. Then you're going to ask yourself, what makes my faith weak? What makes my faith, which is holding on to Allah, holding on to the rope of Allah? And our rope is our Shaykh. What makes my faith in my Shaykh weak? Okay, you're looking, you're saying, it makes me weak. How does it make me? You know what your connection is with your Shaykh. Today, not only I was busy with the world, but I was just enjoying myself. I didn't remember my Shaykh at all. Correct? I was going out doing this and this and this, and I'm not in sohbat. I'm not in association with my Shaykh. I forgot remembering my Shaykh. I'm not making a zikr. What else? Maybe it is this person. Maybe it is another person. Maybe it is your job that is making you to break this connection, to have more faith. Then you're going to sit. How am I going to have that faith? You cannot now stop your job. That is not the point. The tariqat, it is not about stopping everything. Go up to the top of a mountain, sit in a cave and make zikr. We cannot do that. There are people in the past who have done that. We are too weak to do that in these days. But there is a way in your homes, in your work. There is a way in your studies. There is a way to still be connected. Your body is doing things in this world, but your heart is connected to Allah. Hold on to your faith. What makes your faith weak? Sit and understand. Once you understand the question, the answer is there. The answer is there. Because the one who puts the question to us is not you thinking of it. He puts the question. He also put the answer to you. But you must know how to read. You must know how to read. You want to know an answer, but you don't know how to read. I can give you a piece of paper that says, this is it. You still won't know, correct? So, important for us to learn. Keep our faith. And what is it that we want? If you ask me, I must keep my faith strong as possible in my Shaykh and not doubt. He's going to bring me to the presence of the Prophet. They're going to bring me to the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have faith in my Shaykh. So now think of it. What makes my faith in my Shaykh weak? Not just I'm not doing things that I'm supposed to do and I'm doing the things that I'm not supposed to do. But what else? When I let my desire to overtake me. When I let this world to fool me. When I'm not being conscious of it. Build your faith. Nothing else is going to save you. You understand? May Allah make our faith to be strong, inshallah. We need prayer. We need sohbat. We need to remind each other. In this way, when you're reminding each other and whatever that you're doing is connected to that, that's real remembrance. You can sit and we can make zikr, Allah, 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 1 hour, 5 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, but you're out there and you do something that is completely against what Allah is saying. What good is that? Or you say, oh, I love my Shaykh, I love my Shaykh, I love my Shaykh. Now, for example, you know how important Jummah is, correct? Now you're going to say, I'm not going to attend Jummah because I want to go on a vacation. Good people, making zikr all the time. But now your ego has tricked you. You're not making that connection. Because if you're making that connection, if you have a connection, before you ask, you're going to ask yourself, what would Shaykh Efendi say if I said this to him? Meaning, what would Allah say? You think you don't know the answer? You will always know the answer. So how can you? Now new style, people are asking me, can I have permission to do this, which is not so good? Or do this other action, which is not so good? I say, you do whatever you want. I'm not going to force you. You are adults, you're intelligent. You know how to be very intelligent in this world, trying to find from this world and to take from this world and build yourself a life. But when it comes to protocol, adab, manners, and certain things that you should be doing, suddenly everyone is so naive. So naive. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you're not supposed to do this. No, you know. You're just being slick. There's just the ego that is fooling you. We should wake up because whatever that we're doing in this world, we are going to be questioned for it. There is no free ride for anyone. We're going to be questioned for everything. You cannot now on the judgment day in front of divine presence and say, I didn't know. You know, we all know. Now that we know, we must do the right thing, inshallah. Yes, we are weak. Of course we are weak. We are the weakest ones. We're no good for nothing. When you are weak, that's the time when you ask for help. Understand? Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Tamam.